but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Wrong one. Oh no. Hold on. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back. After so many stream switch-ins, overlay switch-ins. Alright. We are live. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Football Chatbox Double Gameweek 33 Podcast episode number 28. So we were supposed to have Roy today as well for the first time with Abin, but unfortunately it couldn't happen. Maybe for Gameweek 36 when everyone's playing chips, maybe we can get all four of us. We'll see. And that'll be interesting. Abin's back. How are you feeling, Abin?
Good. It's been a rough couple of weeks
Yeah.
with my own FPL team as well as COVID. So dealing with the worst of the last 2 weeks. So now I need to gather strength and see through the rest of the season, and get a better finish the season strong.
Yeah.
I've got quite a lot of lull periods in the last couple of game weeks.
Oh,
I've been hurt a lot, so I need to get back.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you back into that top 100k. How many chips do you have left?
Just a free hit.
Just one free hit, or is
One free hit.
One free hit. Okay. So you're most likely keeping it for Game Week 36.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look to try and navigate this week with like maybe a few transfers and whatnot.
Yeah. I've got 2 free transfers.
Yeah.
So I saved it for this. So
Alright.
Let's see.
Okay, cool. Then we will see how it goes. Alright, so the agenda for today, and I've got Bruno Fernandes here right on the thumbnail as well, so we'll be speaking about him as well as other double game week assets. We'll look at the fixture ticker and chip strategy, double game week 33 cheat sheet, 33 players, defense, attack, and then teams of the managers, price changes, and the panel team. We have a free hit draft over there, so we'll be playing the free hit chip down the panel team because it's got 2 free hit chips and a bench boost left, so we kind of need to play the free hit chip somewhere, so we'll most likely play it in 33. Now, at the time of recording, one set of UCL fixtures are done. Chelsea are out. They were almost at the point of going through to the next round, but are now out. Which means it makes, we don't know yet, but there could be the possibility that we get Chelsea's double could potentially come into game week 34 or 35. There is a possibility. They're double with Manchester United. Now, we don't know yet if that announcement will happen pre game week 33 deadline. It could, maybe, just so that the Premier League gives enough notice in terms to the fans, which means if they go to maybe 34, in that specific case, Chelsea will double with Manchester United as well as West Ham United, as you can see on the picture here. That means Manchester United would have a back-to-back double.
Yeah, they'll have back-to-back doubles, won't
Yes,
they?
yes.
Yeah.
So for those not on a free hit as well, it could potentially mean that if you wanted to keep your United assets for one more week, that could also be a possibility. I've seen someone in the chat as well. We will get to your questions as well, and hopefully through this podcast you will be able to figure it out as well. So now, that is one change. Now, obviously, tomorrow's UCL matches, I don't think would have too much of an impact on the Premier League matches because it's City, Liverpool, and by the looks of it, Liverpool are most likely definitely through to the next round. City almost through, unless obviously Atletico do a surprise, but I don't expect it too much. So what the next set of fixtures that matter would be the FA Cup that happened on the same weekend. So the FA Cup fixtures mostly with regards to Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. And also the Europa League, because West Ham are in the Europa League. Their fixture against Man City also matters. And that's very dependent on their result in the Europa League and whether they progress to the next round or not. And then obviously we have Leicester as well in the Conference League. And I guess in terms of them, it's more so that we kind of want to know whether they're still in the Conference League or not, whether to prioritize on their players or not. Because if they're still in the Conference League, then they'll most likely rotate quite a lot as well. And their game is also still in the balance, as is West Ham's game. So we'll probably know all of that information come Friday. So expect to see probably a few announcements from the Premier League, maybe just before the deadline. If you're not on a free hit, maybe kind of hold on to those moves till maybe at least Friday, because you might have to make changes. And it's the early deadline on Saturday as well. So from Australia point of view, it's pretty easy, not having to wait till last minute, early in the morning. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, let's get in straight to double game week 33. We'll be looking at players you can bring in. Now, I'm on a free hit. Abin's not on a free hit. So we're going to be looking at both sides of players you can bring in who will be useful for now and also useful for the upcoming game weeks, especially the doubles in 36, 37, and for the season running. And also we look at players who you want to get in now to maximize the upcoming run. Now, this is a tiny cheat sheet that I created. It's slightly different to how we do the season tick and everything. I kind of put my own spin on it. Basically, what I did was I took the minutes per XG and minutes per XG conceded in the last 6 game weeks. And the numbers in green that you see are basically teams from the top 6 of those last 6 game weeks. And the numbers in red are the bottom 6 of the last 6 game week. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, for example, Chelsea, Liverpool, like this is very, very interesting because City, Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal are out of those 6 teams. 5 of them are basically the best of the best at the moment in terms of the stats, in terms of defense and attack. And I guess the table also doesn't lie. The table is also showing the same thing. So the stats are falling in with get the best teams in. And that's something we'll speak about in this game week as well, because even if you're on a free hit, doesn't mean you necessarily avoid these best teams, best players. At least I think you probably shouldn't avoid. You shouldn't go full 11 double game weekers in. I feel like there are good single game weekers with good options. And then obviously you got Brentford, who are the one team with a good attack. And also we have Aston Villa with a good defense, but they're not playing, so it doesn't matter for them.
So United is just neutral then.
United is just mid-table, lower mid-table, patheticness. Interestingly, however, the stats for mid-table, their defense mid-table, right, for the last 6 game weeks. If I switch that to last 4 game weeks or last 2 game weeks, obviously last 2 game weeks, but if you switch it to last 4 game weeks, then their defense improves into like the top 6. They're like second basically. Defense-wise.
Their defense. Yeah. I can't remember last time we kept a clean sheet.
I know exactly. Because I feel like they still concede at least 1 goal. It's just that they're conceding shots from very low XG areas. Like Maguire's deflected goal is probably a very low XG shot as well. So they're conceding stupid goals from low XG shot areas, which means that even though their defense numbers are really good, they're still conceding a goal a game because the defenders are just making careless mistakes.
Yeah.
But their attacking numbers aren't the best. They're struggling to kind of create, even if you were to switch it out. Now, let's look at it. Arsenal. I think Arsenal I put the best because they have both like green numbers on top. They face Southampton, who have, on the other hand, now I'll explain the dark green colors. The dark green colors is because, let's say for example, Southampton, they have a red number and just a black number. So they're pretty bad in one area, which is why I've favored Arsenal as the more team to kind of win that game. The blue is because Chelsea and Arsenal share similar numbers in terms of both of them are in the top 6. So I've gone, okay, they're both on the same level. They're going to someone's going to cancel each other out. Most likely Chelsea beat Arsenal, but they are, in terms of numbers wise, they're very similar. Make sense so far?
Yeah.
So that's, and then the orange is basically I've gone, you're a poor team, you're facing another poor team. In the case of Leicester you're a poor team, you're facing a team that's going to be a bit more of a harder game for you. So Leicester facing Newcastle. Leicester have really bad stats. Even though I think they have kind of shown that they've improved slightly in the last 2 game weeks, but they still have pretty bad stats. But they're going against a Newcastle team that are on top here. They're not the best in terms of top 6, but their stats are pretty good still. Like Newcastle's defensive stats, if you look at it, minutes per XG is 80.2. I think the lowest is Aston Villa at 84.6. So Aston Villa is 6th. And I think Newcastle would be the 7th best team in terms of defensive over the last 6 game weeks. So I've gone, okay, Newcastle is a better team at the moment in terms of form, stats, everything. So which is why the Leicester game is a bit harder for Leicester, but for Newcastle, it's a green. And if it's a grey, it's basically shit team playing against shit team. Leicester playing against Everton, Burnley playing against Southampton, vice versa. And the light greens here, that's the final color to explain, which is really good team with 2 green stats playing a mid-table team.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully,
if you apply that logic, and last week with United playing Everton, you'd think United would beat Everton.
They should have, but I mean, again, they're struggling to create an attack. I don't know. United are a very odd team, which is why, in one way, it might have put a lot of people off United assets. Which could potentially work in favor of those who free hit and tend to load up on the United assets if they decide to bang against Norwich. Because Norwich, looking at it, Norwich are bad.
Yeah.
Norwich are worse than Everton in terms of stats wise. But Everton are posting much more bad attacking numbers. Like Everton are supposed to score a goal every 113 minutes. Norwich at least scored a goal within the 90 minutes. So I expect Norwich to score at least 1 goal in that game, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. But the defense is pretty bad. They concede a goal every 38 minutes.
Yeah.
So defense is pretty bad for Norwich. Attacking options for United could be pretty good, which is why I've added players to target Bruno and Ronaldo, and I haven't really added any defenders because I don't really trust our defenders. Although I have seen people going in for Telles on a free hit maybe, but on if you don't have a free hit, I wouldn't even go there. And then so based off all of that, I just added players on the side to target who are providing good numbers and from those teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully that makes sense with everything. Any questions from this, Abin?
No, it makes sense. It's a pretty good tool to have, and easy to target and what you're looking for.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the teams that double. Just have a look at I've just picked a couple players who are on the top in terms of XGI, expected goal involvement over the last 6 game weeks. In terms of Arsenal, Saka right on top, followed by Martinelli. Mid-row, Lacazette there, but I don't know. I've been a bit disappointed with Lacazette. I got rid of him as well. And then Odegaard at the bottom. Now, this I spoke with Roy as well last week. Obviously, this guy is injured. Kieran Tierney is injured, out for the season most likely.
Yeah.
And Roy was saying maybe they could try Saka at left back.
What?
Because he has played there before. And now they tried Xhaka in left back, which didn't work really well. And obviously Xhaka is also a midfield spot, and they've already lost Thomas Partey. So there's kind of the case of why are you playing one of your better midfielders in a left back spot when you already have lost a midfield spot as well. So I can see why there is a case from Arsenal fans to maybe try Saka at left back spot, because you can then play Martinelli on your left wing and Smith Rowe on your right wing, because they still have pretty good options going forward.
Yeah.
So that's the one caveat. Maybe Arteta could try Saka there. We don't know yet, but at the moment, on his right wing spot, he's their best going forward.
Yeah, look, I think either way, I think he is. He should be one of the high up there with players that you should target anyway for the game week, regardless of where he's going to be played. Hopefully, he doesn't. If he does play as a defense, doesn't get punished for with points. With points of the defense, people will lose with points. But it's hard to see that because Southampton, they had a poor game.
Exactly, that's the thing, right? Southampton were pretty poor, which is why I'm hoping that.
But it's. I mean, I guess it's just the Premier League. Southampton just never know. They had a great run of fixtures, fixtures of form, and then suddenly they're just nowhere again. So, I think of all Arsenal players, Saka is more often than not you would want to have him in the team, as well as I think you've just focused on the attack, but I think more having Ramsdale and maybe one of the defense. I tripled up on Arsenal for a long time with Ramsdale, Tierney, and Saka. Tierney's gone out. I still have him here that I need to get rid of. Trying to figure out where best to go with just another Arsenal defense, be it Gabriel or White, maybe, or just go completely off and just get back into my premium defense in Cancelo and Co.
Yeah, so this is where I guess we need to kind of know the City assets, what's their situation in terms of their double, because their double game week also can kind of move. The other thing is, if you wanted an Arsenal defender, or if anyone watching wants an Arsenal defender and you lost Tierney, Gabriel's a good option. I think good set piece threat. If you want more attacking returns, Gabriel's a good set piece threat option.
It comes at a price though.
It comes at a price, exactly. The cheaper alternative, especially if you want to move funds elsewhere as well, is Ben White, who doesn't have the similar set piece threat, but has similar bonus points returns as Gabriel, or at least baseline bonus. They get very similar numbers, so they could either one of them could end up in the bonus as well. It's just that the attacking threat from set pieces, Gabriel has a bit more, and obviously it comes with that price as well. But if you're just happy to get like the clean sheets that maybe a Ramsdale might get and you don't have a Ramsdale, then Ben White is a decent option. Would I double up on Arsenal defense? At the moment, they're still pretty good for defense, but they've been a bit shaky in the last 2 game weeks. Although Southampton, I think they might be able to keep a clean sheet. The Chelsea game is the one that probably not.
Yeah, look, it's. I mean, if you have Ramsdale like I do, you probably don't need to don't want to double it up. Just because if you just generally even look at their away record, it's not the greatest, especially if running into Chelsea. Hot on their form and that they've been on. I wouldn't want to double up on defense.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up, a team that maybe on a free hit you could double up if you wanted to is Newcastle, who've been doing pretty well. And they're facing, if I'm not mistaken, Leicester and Crystal Palace. Not a bad set of opponents to face. Leicester, Crystal Palace both could technically score as well because they're not too bad going forward as well. Even though Leicester's numbers attacking wise have been pretty bad, recently I think they're kind of showing that kind of form that they would improve. Now Fraser is out, fortunately. So it's probably Chris Wood. Bruno Jimenez has been a player a lot of people have been looking at recently, especially because of his price tag. Although the numbers are there, but I think you probably have better midfield options if you wanted to. Chris Wood is basically another Weghorst, maybe with a bit more better attacking options, I would say, and also playing in a better team, I would say. At this point.
But he still just has 1 or 2 shots on goal.
Exactly. And also probably at this point plays more minutes than Weghorst.
Yeah, that's right. It's I think this is a season to forget for strikers. I've never seen such a disappointing season. It's you'd rather just load up everywhere else, premium defense, premium midfield, and just leave Kane in front. That's
exactly.
it. Nothing else.
Exactly. That is the plan. That is the plan going forward. If you wanted, I think defensive assets are pretty good. Defensive players also end up in these numbers because of the high expected assist. Shah has a shot on him, has now Shah's set pieces as well for sometimes for free kicks. Dan Burn, really good aerial threat on set pieces. Target in terms of crosses as a fullback. If you wanted to get a defensive player, not a bad option. I personally, I'm going with Shah. I think he's a much more because of the fact
I was going to say the same thing. It's I've meaning to pull the trigger for a couple of game weeks with Shah, just because of just Newcastle's form in general. If you're their form, probably have been in the top 5 in the Premier League, and he's been one good reason for that. So he was my easy replacements. I needed to do a bit of work on my defense, and he's one of a highly considered person that I'll be making.
And I think
Target is just as a good option as well. Set pieces.
Shah for price is not a bad option. And Gameweek 34 also, their fixture isn't too bad. Newcastle play Norwich. Obviously 35, 36, 37 it gets really hard. 38 it's a pretty decent one. So if you wanted to bench someone, Shah isn't too bad. Especially since he doesn't have a bench boost, doesn't have to worry about a bench boost and having to try and fill players on a bench boost. Shah is a pretty good option. If you were trying to build a bench boost and you were not playing a free hit this week, then maybe Shah. I think I would still probably go for Shah, but would transfer him out in like 35 or something. That would be my plan. Now, that's basically it from Newcastle. I prefer their defensive assets. Dubravka is also not on here. Anyone who wanted Dubravka, already owns Dubravka, I think is a pretty good option as goalkeeper, even on a free hit this week, just because of his price tag. I think he's a pretty good option. Even they might keep 2 clean sheets. If not, he might also get you a few save points. I trust Newcastle's defense more than I trust Manchester United's defense. Now that we've said that, let's straight away swap into Manchester United because Bruno Fernandes right on top there, followed by Cristiano Ronaldo. Now both of them have pretty decent numbers, and we'll look at their numbers. I'll show it when you compare it with the single game weeks as well. The numbers are decent. Bruno Fernandes, Sancho also good numbers, although recently his form has been dropping again. So for me, at least personally, I think it's just Bruno and Ronaldo on a free hit and no one else. I've seen.
I'll turn on a free hit. Another player I would look at is I think we've seen a bit of momentum with him over. I think the last couple of days was Telles that you have on the list as well. With Shaw being out for a bit, he's a good option. I mean, not to count for his defensive performances. It's just more that he's on set pieces. He's on free kick corners, so he's more likely than not to get an assist to Fernandes, Ronaldo, whoever. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Telles is your next option, and I think Norwich are pretty bad at set pieces. But that would have applied if United were pretty good at scoring set pieces. We've only scored, I think, 1.
Oh, I mean, that's the hardest part with United. It's like you can never, like on paper, it's always such a good option, all of this. But in reality, you just don't know who's showing up on the day. I mean, or if you look at the form guide, United are just losing or drawing to teams that everyone else is just beating. It's just... and I won't be surprised again. They're going losing to Norwich. It's
I won't be surprised. At the same time, I won't be surprised if they spank Norwich as well. So it's just a coin flip with United. Either you get a good team or you get a bad team. There is no let's just get a consistent performance or anything. And if they play bad, they just play bad. They don't even bring out result. They don't even bring out win even while playing bad. So that's the thing with United. So, but at this point, you're tossing the coin because of the fact that they have 2 games instead of 1. So you're kind of like taking that luck, taking that chance on the fact that, they have 2 chances to basically hit. The Liverpool game, going to be tough. We all know what happened in the reverse fixture. And a lot of us on a free hit are going to go without Salah.
I still haven't watched the highlights of that game.
Fair enough. You don't need to watch it. You can avoid this game week's highlights as well. What do you call it? a lot of people on a free hit are going to go without Salah, which is very terrifying. But I guess you're kind of chasing upside on a free hit.
Yeah.
The Liverpool game, I don't know, it could go anywhere. United could potentially score. They have the capabilities of scoring against Liverpool. But they have at the same time, they have the capabilities of getting hammered by Liverpool. It's just because of how Liverpool play. So on a free hit, I guess Bruno, Ronaldo, Telles at your best, maybe.
Yeah.
On not a free hit, maybe just Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, cool. Hopefully that helps for the viewers as well. All right, next up, the team that a lot of people are targeting, Leicester. Now, this is very dependent on obviously their fixtures and who they actually face in Europe, whether they get knocked out, whether they don't get knocked out. But right now, Harvey Barnes and Maddison posting good numbers. Maddison, especially recently, has got into a bit of form. The cheap option in Shrewsbury Hall, if anyone wanted. Although his numbers have only just appeared, so I'm not too I'm more looking into Maddison and Harvey Barnes more than Shrewsbury Hall.
Don't you have any of them?
Who? I don't have a single Leicester player at the moment.
Right. Okay.
If I would.
I've been on Harvey Barnes for at least 5-6 game weeks now.
Yeah. I would have gone at Maddison if I had dropped Coutinho a long time ago. I should have dropped Coutinho in game week 30. I didn't do that. I ended up dropping Rafinha.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I did. I think in game week early got rid of Coutinho.
Yeah.
I would like to, if you go back to last season, around this time is when everyone was on the Iniacho bandwagon.
Yes.
He killed it for everyone.
Yeah.
And I would love for him to work out in here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would take the risk because of I think the minutes, the priority with the Conference Cup, and yes, him and Daka, who's starting because obviously Vardy's out, so they will be playing. But how many minutes remains to be seen.
He would have been a good option for this game week.
Yeah,
if he knew he was playing both games.
Now, but a player that I have, but it's not really in any list or anything, is I just punt on because he was cheap anyway. Was Fofana.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people talk about him.
I've had him for a couple of game weeks. It's I think Rodgers just managing his minutes because obviously he came back from a massive injury, but he came and I think he played the first leg of that Conference Cup and it was like the match winner. And then I brought him in then, and then he didn't start. So I think he's just managing his minutes, but he's been a favorite of Rodgers, and in the past he's been a FPL asset for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just trying to work him through injury and get him back to full fitness. But he's still in my squad. Yeah. I mean, he's just a cheap alternative for me. If he scores points, he scores points. If he doesn't, he gets substituted on my bench. So I have him. Yeah,
I think Fofana, even Justin, who's here, could be a decent option if anyone's looking. If he can replicate his form of last season, it would be even more amazing. But another one not on here is Schmeichel, who is also, if you wanted a defensive option on a free hit. The only thing is, I think Dubravka for the price offers a bit more.
I think so as well. I remember doing this last year. Same thing happened in talking with Michael. I don't think I got a single, a clean sheet out of him. You might get a lot of saves. Yeah. That's about it. So
initially, I had Schmeichel on my free hit draft, but then I saw the numbers and I was put off immediately.
Yeah. I think Dubravka is the better alternative.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I can feel the better team with moving that money around and having to put Dubravka in. But these are the Leicester players. I think if you're not on a free hit, Harvey Barnes or Maddison is probably a good way going forward. Yeah. One of the two. I tend to like Maddison a bit more because of the fact that he's on set pieces and everything. And he's kind of that streaky player. When he gets into that form, you kind of want to get him. But those two, anyway, pretty good options going forward. And then moving on to the team that a lot of people went on early, Burnley, Weghorst. He's not even first in his own team, man. I don't know why people went on breakfast. I don't know what people.
It's funny. I think I saw a tweet a week ago or something for last game week, where one of his own teammates substituted him out of their team.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what people are doing here.
He is he's one of the most annoying people ever. It's like he had a cracking start, and then because Burnley had so many games to reschedule, they just have so many doubles that he just happened to just stay in the team, and you just don't get rid of it.
Yeah,
because
he's
you
like a Dennis.
hope that one day this double game week will work, and
Exactly.
it hasn't.
Exactly, and we're still waiting. People are still waiting for the game in 33. But then, I've seen people now considering taking Weghorst out for a hit on Gameweek 33. That is the kind of, and they're moving to Chris Wood obviously, but yeah, that is the. I wouldn't even look at any Burnley players even on a free hit, to be fair.
I think everyone at the start of the season had Brownhill in their team.
Yeah.
I don't think if you look at his stats, I don't think he still has a return.
Probably not. Like Burnley and Southampton. Sorry, who's playing? So Burnley, who are they playing? They're playing West Ham and Southampton. I probably wouldn't even look into any Burnley players, to be fair, on a free hit. Even going forward, on a non-free hit, I think you get rid, you say goodbye.
I mean, if there's any attacking threat does happen, right? If there's a goal of Burnley, you'll always find Cornet somewhere around.
Yeah.
He's someone I've always thought about now and then, but it doesn't make sense with the team that you have.
Yeah, I think Cornet is your one person, but there are so many better options in midfield that I'm like, nah.
Exactly. So,
moving on, just gets even worse. Southampton. Now, interestingly, Shea Adams, if I was to tell you, out of all the double game week players, has the best non-penalty XGI in the last 6 game weeks. But he's not providing results. He's like Broha, not providing results. The numbers are there. He's like Redmond in past seasons. Had the numbers, man never provided any results. And that's exactly what Shea Adams is doing right here. 3.5 non-penalty XGI. I mean, he could score. The fixtures are Arsenal and Burnley. Maybe Burnley he could get a return. But yeah, it's just not good. Southampton.
No.
I like Ward-Prowse in general as a player. Because he has a ping on him. But apart from that, I wouldn't really look into anyone. Even again,
what happened? Ryan, we were all on Livramento for so long.
He got injured, and then premium defense started to come up, and Livramento. I mean, he was a good loyal servant. He did actually provide results. Out of all the Southampton players, he's the one who provided returns.
Correct.
And if Southampton was showing good form recently, I still would recommend people to get onto Livramento. I mean, this double game week on a free hit, if you wanted someone on your bench who is cheap, you could probably just put Livramento there. Just so if you wanted someone who is going to start and play, and a cheap player just for the bench. I don't mind having Livramento. I think myself, I might also just have him on that bench there, just in case if I needed a bench player to come off. And I think I would trust him, Livramento, because the fixtures are not too bad as well. But apart from that, no thank you to anyone else. Any thoughts, Southampton? Oh, yeah.
No one. The same thought is, if anyone is just Livramento and on the bench, he's a cheap version, like just to fill up your bench. That's it for like no other defense. Nothing.
And then Brighton, same thing like Southampton and Burnley. For me,
they had a good run sometimes in the Premier League, but now they've just gone back to what they are. I think I saw the stat of Trossard being the most devalued player for the season.
Yes.
Like he's lost like over $1 million.
Yeah, something like that.
In value, there's no one here I would even think of.
Fair enough. Moving on now. What I did was, to make life easy, I collected all the double game week players and took their stats and compared it here. Like I said, Shea Adams right on top, 3.5. Bruno Fernandes at 2.8 non-penalty XGI, which I think kind of makes him the best captaincy option for this game week. Followed by Saka is here, but with the recent, I can't I'm still thinking there is an option that he ends up at left back. So which is what I am a bit off put by that. So I would rather captain maybe a Leicester player if you wanted to, if you didn't have Bruno Fernandes. or I would actually captain a single gaming player. We didn't have Bruno Fernandes. But to be fair, you could also captain a double game week defender in terms of like a Newcastle defender just in case. But that's just a extreme if you are trying to like climb rank significantly and you're like way behind.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go to that extremes. But Bruno Fernandes, I think, is the best captaincy option this game week. Followed by, in terms of players you want to target from doubles, Saka, pretty good. Harvey Barnes. Ronaldo is also on this list, but he's quite low in this list, to be fair. And then obviously you got the likes of Martinelli, Chris Wood, Mitro, Bruno Jimenez, Madison, and then Odegaard and Jacob end it at the bottom.
It's not the most straightforward of and as all considered. A lot of these double game weeks player teams, they're mostly away games. And it's you just never know. I mean, I wish Bruno was back to the form of last season. I mean, look, I was just even looking now. He's not even in the first page of total points earned this season. It's not on the page one. He's on a couple of pages later. And last season, him and Salah were all the way. You needed to have both of them in your team.
Exactly, that's the thing. That's right. So he still can deliver. I mean, we saw what he did in the last double game week he got. In terms of returns, and now there are rumors that maybe people are like, Ronaldo needs to get suspended for his recent off-field activities in against Everton. So kind of monitor that and see. We don't know if that will happen or not. Because if that happens, then it puts him on pens as well. Bruno Fernandes makes him a really good captaincy option. So I would kind of hold on trying to bring in Ronaldo for those on a free hit as well. Just wait and see. Because if you are trying to bring in Ronaldo, you might get rid of Kane. Maybe hold Kane, because if you get rid of Kane on a free hit and try to bring him back, you'll have to buy him for a bit higher. But yeah, thoughts? Anyone else on this list you're interested in going forward at least? I know you have a Jimenez-shaped hole in your team as well that needs fixing.
Yeah, correct. But those are all looking at just low cost strikers, to be honest. But after a while, I really just want to beef up my my defense and midfield, and that's how I hope to move up. But it's like if you look at this list, the only reason they're on the list is because of their double game weeks, obviously. But we've spoken of this before. But sometimes you just have to trust your single game week will outperform some of them. Guys here. That's why, I mean, for example, Tierney, I probably even move straight to Cancelo just because I trust him in a single game against Brighton rather than any of the other options that are out there.
Exactly. Fair enough.
So, look, I'm not overly excited by everything because I'm on Adams. It's good to see there, but away games, I don't know. Fernandes, if I could, I would maybe. Saka, I've got. Fraser's injured. Barnes, I've got. Cornet, there's no space in the midfield for him. And then working down the list, Wood is like another version of Weghorst for me. If he pays off, he'll pay off. But I wouldn't be surprised he can returning back with 2 points for the week. It's happened many times. And then staying away from anything that's Southampton, Brighton, Burnley related anyway. So
that's actually a good point because there's so many single game weekers who are providing really good returns, which is why I'm thinking do not ignore the single game weekers, and we'll kind of show it right here. Players with the best returns in terms of just single game weekers here. Kane right on top. Look at that XGI 6.05 compared to look at this XGI of Bruno Fernandes 2.8. This is last 6 game weeks data.
Exactly.
Tony. If this man had good fixtures going forward, at least for the next few, I would have got him in. But his last 3 are the best, so I would wait until the last 3.
I heard you doubling up on Brentford.
No, I'm not getting Mbeumo. No, thank you.
I thought it was Eriksen.
Eriksen actually could be a very decent option, but we'll see. I don't know. It could be a last game big punt or something. Heung-min Son, the bane of my existence. The reason my ranks have been dropping recently because I didn't have him.
He's been same as me. Because I got rid of Salah for 1 or 2 game weeks and I brought him back using Son. But Salah has become my problem, not problem, because
He can return, but like he hasn't delivered.
he hasn't delivered, and if you take out his penalties as well,
Yeah.
he's okay, right? It's just that the value that is sitting there at 13 million.
Yeah.
It's just like, whew, like you wonder if you could just, example, just get in Jota,
Exactly.
and that, and rather use that value elsewhere, because especially if you want to climb rank,
Yeah.
and you want to take a few risks, it's
See, that's
probably the time to do it, because it's probably, but this kind of goes to if you risk adverse or
Yeah,
or
exactly.
you're a taker, because
But
if
that's
Salah
what.
pays off,
Yeah.
you're screwed, because
Yeah,
his
exactly.
effective ownership is sky high.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you bring in like a De Bruyne or
Or
whoever
Henderson.
else that you want to do,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good punt.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised, because it all seems like, even looking at last season,
Yeah.
Salah kind of slows down towards the end, but it's a huge run in for the league title now. He should be around
He should
there.
be around, exactly.
But look, Jota, I'm looking at him again, and he's
Good value.
He's good value. He's returned the last 2 game weeks now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Salah hasn't punished the non-owners who dropped him and went for Son and everything. And
Correct.
instead, his owners have got punished because Salah hasn't returned and Son has been returning.
Correct.
So yeah, I think that's the thing. Again, having said that, we know Salah is capable now. Ambasuk probably going to drop Salah on a free hit and go this game week. But I still think if I can cover my bases with other good players, maybe I can limit the damage. But we'll have to see and go. But like, yeah, I hope even in game week 34 against Everton, I think Salah is going to be the best captaincy option.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I just hope he delivers in that game.
Yeah, stay away from Everton as well. I don't know why Richarlison is on that list.
I got Gordon. The 1 week I put Gordon on the bench, he goes and gets a double pointer.
Wouldn't be surprised. A game week against United is not a feared game week anymore.
I know.
Back in the days, we used to be feared.
I learned my lesson.
We used to be feared. I mean, other people obviously on this list, another guy I keep looking at is Havertz.
Out of Champions League. Could be
our Champions League. He's playing pretty well in things, and this is kind of what I'm saying earlier of trying to beef up midfield with these kind of players by getting the Salah out. But I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I would love to have Havertz in my team.
Yeah.
Jota, or even I want to even take a punt on De Bruyne, because I haven't had De Bruyne all season, and now again it's a similar thing of after the last game we got by. This league title is on the knife's edge. Anyone, they have to win everyone has to win both.
They can't afford to slip up.
You can't afford to slip up because it's over. And if you look at, I'm looking at the run, and they'll probably win all their home games, each team, and it's just a couple of away games that they have to navigate, and those away games aren't the hardest. So
no, I think City had the better run in at the moment.
Pep will stabilize on this better teams. Well, it remains to be seen. Let's see how the Champions League goes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
As well. But I like Havertz, I like De Bruyne, I'd like
Son as well.
Jota, Son,
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Now that Doherty is injured, I can see a lot of people going on to Son, because that route is now freed. The first place is open.
Yes.
Before it was like, we're all locked into triple Spurs, and you either win Son or you win Kuleveski. And both, to be fair, Kuleveski has been covering for his price range.
Yeah.
But Son just is damaging people. So now that Doherty is not there and the third Spurs spot has opened, I can see a lot of people going to Son, myself included.
Does Tottenham have any dull game weeks left? It's only 36, is it?
They have only 36, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is a tough one. And if you're playing a free hit like I also probably look to playing a free hit in 36, which is where I might even not have too many Spurs players. But there are other games around that really good.
Oh, Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, tough double game week 36. Really good single game weeks around that.
Is that away games or I can't tell?
Liverpool, I think, is away game. Arsenal's a home game.
But look, you can navigate through that. Look at the rest of their fixtures. Jeez, it's so appetizing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So, which is why I'm like, Spurs players, everyone's going to go be on triple Spurs till the end of the season, most likely.
Yeah.
Going back single game, because Obviously, the defenders not many here, but Cancelo really good option. Laporte also could be a good option if you don't have the funds to get to Cancelo. Obviously, we know what Trent and Robertson are capable of. At least now, maybe I might get Reece James points, and he hopefully won't get rotated now that they're out of the Champions League.
He played all 120 minutes, so I don't know.
I don't know. Reece James has been like a player that has been like, you get a 0 or you get a 18, man. You don't have a 6 pointer. There is no 6 pointer in Reece James's.
That's why I've gone safe and I've gone with the safe bet and had Rudiger, just getting my 6 points every week.
I know, that's the thing. There is no middle ground in Reece James. He either goes huge or he goes like nothing. So that's the thing.
And then sometimes he'll come on in the 80th minute to give you 1 point.
I know, and then blocks my 6 pointer on the bench, which is very disappointing. But that's the case with Reece James. I guess that's the highs and lows you have to drive. I've had him as my highs. I've had the lows as well of him. So I have experienced it all as a Reece James owner. And then
and also it's hard because I remember when I was on James, it's just how Tuchel uses him, because sometimes when he plays a back three, he's in the back three, where you'd rather have him as a wing back, rather than in as a center. So he's not as effective, I guess, in points.
Yeah, I think even against Real Madrid,
so I got stuck with him for a few game weeks because he was playing as a back three rather than wide.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's more effective out wide. So we'll see how it goes in the upcoming double. I mean, if his minutes are still continuing to be managed, then I think a straight move to Cancelo from Reece James might also be on the cards. But we'll see. If Chelsea get a double game week in 34, 35, these things change. Obviously, Reece James is playing. And he's not leaving my team. After that, though, we'll have to see. De Bruyne, also another player. A lot of people, a really good differential. If anyone's looking to climb rank significantly, and wants a very differential player who's delivering, De Bruyne could be another player you want.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's basically it. Singles. This is just what I mentioned, like at the start. Team defense last 6 game weeks. City right on top. City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, and the table doesn't lie. Very similar. Aston Villa was the one that was surprising, but I guess they're there because they haven't been considering. Although we'll see. They could have a juicy double game week in 35, maybe, depending on the FA Cup results. So we'll have to wait and see with that. And obviously, bottoms are Norwich. Why people are going on United assets, at least a few people.
Surprisingly, West Ham is on there. Yeah, okay.
Yes, West Ham have been poor recently. Then obviously you have your mid-table United, because Leeds have actually improved. Brentford. That's your defense. Attack. Tottenham right on top in terms of attack, which is why a lot of people are on the triple Tottenham now. Yeah, their goal attempts is triple digits goal attempts in the last 6 game weeks. Look at every other team. They don't even come close. Aston Villa maybe, but like triple digits. That's how much they're attacking.
How good.
Yeah. And like, I think they're big chances. Look at that, 29 big chances. The next highest is Chelsea in 19. That's 10 more big chances than any other team in 6 game weeks. So Spurs are a team you definitely want to target right now. The form is behind them. And go and get their players, especially if you're in a single game week and you want to get, like you mentioned earlier, Son or Kane against Brighton, really good fixtures too. Okay, managers teams. You did pretty well, 58 points.
Oh, really? It's I got saved by Gordon.
I know, right?
But generally, I try to go against the vibe of everyone captaining a Tottenham player. I tried to believe in Salah, didn't pay off, where the better alternative was Kane. But generally, everyone else has been safe keepers or even nothing really to choose. Spurs obviously performed. Gordon got the priceless goal against United, and that's about it.
Fair enough. And you went Salah captain, which was interesting. I thought you would have gone a Spurs player captain.
I did, but I remembered a game. I think it was last season as well, against City, and then he had him. I think he had a brace.
Yeah,
and
he had the last game against City. Yeah.
I thought this is such a crucial game. He was going to do that as well. So
yeah, fair enough.
Anyway,
and then mine. Oh, I wish my bench points could have come on. Look at that. Ramsdale, if I had Dubravka, clean sheet. Gordon. Thomas Tuchel had to bring Reece James on when they were 6-0 up.
What's your plan with Dean? I think Dean is out.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't had time to like transfer him out. I've had other
You've
moves.
loved your Villa players for too long.
That's my downgrade. That's been partially my downfall. Keeping faith in these Villa players because of just a double game week that could or could not happen in 34, 35. I probably, if Chelsea double in 34, bye Coutinho. In comes Havertz or someone. I don't know. That's probably what I'm going to have. But yeah, huge red arrow. Hopefully, free hit can actually get me up. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. This game week might make or break my top 10k chances. We'll see. Then
What's your
Roy,
rank?
24k.
Oh.
Yeah. Then Roy also very similar game week. Captain Kane. But that defense also pretty bad at the back. So I think we'll see what he's gonna do. I'm not sure what his moves are, but I think he's not playing a chip this week, so we'll see. And then finally, price changes. If you're not on a chip, maybe hold out, wait and see, because a few things could change in terms of fixtures. Let me bring this up. Where is it? Here we go. Price changes. Looks like Laporte, the only closest one for the next few weeks at least. Recently, price changes. Kuleveski has gone up. Schmeichel has gone up. Anderson, Madison. So there are a few players who have gone up, but at the moment it seems like it's kind of settled, and maybe Laporte might be your only one. In terms of falls, Ben Mee, Fornals, Vestergaard, like your usual ones, not too much. And then next up would be the panel team. This is where we're going to be doing a free hit draft because we're playing a free hit as well, so you guys can kind of see how we're going to build a panel team. Luckily, actually did pretty well.
They did it amazingly well.
79 points, just because we had Son and Rafinha and Davis and Thiago Silva. That's it. The panel team actually did pretty well and managed to have Chris Wood. I changed out at the last minute. Chris Wood in bench and Dubravka as well. The panel team could have actually had really good. It could have done way more better, but yeah, it's not too bad. Did pretty well. But we're going to be playing a free hit because we kind of have 2 free hits left, I think, on this team.
Yeah.
Yes, we have 2 free hits and a bench boost. So we might play 1 free hit this time. Talks of the free hit. Like, there aren't any good players at the moment in this, so we're probably going to have to pick. So what's your thoughts? Who do we keep, first of all, on this team?
I think to keep is Dubravka. Work from the back, so Dubravka, I'll obviously keep him. Ramsden's got a double game week, so I don't think. You pick one and then you go with
Dubravka for Costa.
Yeah, correct, exactly. You'll keep Son. You'll keep Saka, and that's maybe Wood if there's space.
Okay, let's see. This is who we're keeping. In terms of your single game week options right now, it's only Heung-min Son, and I think that's pretty good as well.
I'd at least just put a low cost goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Carson here, maybe. Low cost goalkeeper. Has he played anything? No, it's only been Edison this season. Maybe, yeah. Defense.
And I would start with some single game weeks. Yeah, just that with kind of players you want to have, probably like a Cancelo or some City.
I think a Cancelo or
Laporte.
One of the two. We'll put Cancelo now and see in terms of cost how it goes.
Yeah.
Single game because midfield we got Son there. Forward line, maybe we can have Kane, but it'll depend if you want to get Ronaldo as well. We'll see.
Oh yeah. Maybe yeah. You're right.
So we'll see. We'll actually before we go to there, let's.
Sorry, you've got Son already, so that's okay. So
we want to probably go midfield first because I think that's where we're going to put a chunk of money in.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Who do you want in terms of your midfielders?
Well, I would want to, because Saka's already there, then add you need a Leicester, so Madison or Barnes.
Which one would we go for? Madison is 7. Barnes also, I believe, the prices. 0.6. Barnes is actually way cheaper.
Yeah. I'll put Barnes.
The
Yeah.
Barnes.
Yep.
Bruno Fernandes probably because we need
Yep.
United cover.
Yeah.
That leaves us with one more spot in. I mean, we could. Who else is there as an option? We could go a single game week again if you wanted to.
Yeah. Who else would we think of there?
Can we add KDB?
Is there space?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Let's probably move to forward. Do we want Ronaldo up front?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you pick Wood over Adams? Because I mean, look, I'm just thinking of your slides earlier.
Arsenal, Burnley, Leicester, Crystal Palace. 2 mediums type games against one easy, one hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think in terms of team form, at least Newcastle have looked better than this thing. Than Southampton. Super Kiko also has asked best captain this game week. I think it's Fernandes for me, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Best captain, go with the double game because Fernandes is pretty good against Norwich. Okay, defense.
We don't have too much funds, to be honest. Left.
Yeah, that's why we'll probably have to alternate. We'll probably drop KDB.
We'll put the Newcastle defense. Was
Okay.
they cheap?
Newcastle defender. So we have the options of Shah, Dan Burn, one of the two maybe.
Yeah, Shah.
Shah in there. Do we want an Arsenal defender?
Yeah, well, we don't have Ramsdale, so I'll
No.
put White in there.
Okay, Ben White it is. So that will be probably your 3-back, right?
Yeah.
Then that means you play with 2 cheaper defenders in there.
Yeah.
We can put a Simicas in there for the money, 3.7. If he happens to play, he does play.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're not going to be having enough funds because 0.9 to split between 2 positions is not a possibility. Any other cheap player defense?
Oh, I guess that can be any person that we don't really know.
Is Amati still playing?
He does play.
He does play. Yeah, maybe we could.
Yeah. That's a good shot.
4 million.
What do we have?
And then we have 2.9, so obviously we can't play De Bruyne. De Bruyne kind of has to drop. Let's put a cheap maybe striker in there. Just Gerhardt or Greenwood, or actually let's go for a 4.
Okay, isn't it blank for Leeds?
Yeah, exactly it is. But like, if I feel like any striker we put there, it's going to be a blank regardless.
3. What are we going? 3-5-2, is it?
Yeah. So probably just goes. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Let's just put Scarlett for now. Now 10.2 in midfield. I think 10.2 is probably as good as it's going to probably get. We could go. I don't know if Jota will play the cup game or whether he'll play the Manchester United game. It's a bit hard to tell. Like at least Mane and Salah, I know they'll probably play both. Because there is Luis Diaz as well. It's a bit of an issue. We could go with Madison.
Or double up on
Leicester.
midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he said what? He's 7 million, so we'll still have 3 million. We still have 3 million in the bank.
Where is it?
Midfield's
I mean, Chelsea have a cup game as well that time, so it's hard to tell.
Do you think Ronaldo will play both games?
I don't know. It depends on if he's available, he'll play both games. I think if he's not available, then it's like if this so-called band or whatever comes in. What I'm talking about. I don't know. That's the only one issue. I feel like we can add a single game week here. Even a Sterling is 10.5, too high. A bit hard to pick who. Probably have to be like a double game week.
Yeah, How many? You can't tell you how many single game weeks do we have here?
We have one single game maker who will play.
Son and
Two, and Cancelo.
Yeah. It just feels, I mean, if we put Madison, we're leaving a lot of value on the
we could have
in the bank.
Yeah. And we
Who
could
else
have
would you-
upgraded a defender.
I mean, then I guess you can put if you do that, you're gonna get rid of White and put Gabriel.
Yeah, we could.
If you want to put Madison.
Yeah, we could have upgraded like defense a bit more. Would have been. I mean, not defense. Midfield a bit more. But then, yeah.
If you put Madison and then what if you bring Trent in? Will that work? I don't know.
Madison, can we do this though? This is another thing I haven't thought about. Can we go instead of Scarlett, go Kane for 2.1? Oh no, we can. Let's see. To drop Wood and play Kane instead. And then if you go a cheap striker, right? 4.3 million in midfield. You can have Ronaldo and Kane up front.
How much left?
4.3.
Yeah.
You can play a 4-4-2. You'll have to probably play unless we can find a cheap midfielder who is doubling up.
Who's doubling up? Brownie. Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall maybe 4.4, but we have 4.3 unfortunately. Unless we rotated Amati to a bit more lower team. Who are people bringing in? We could go. This is where it gets a bit hard. We could try at Dewsbury Hall and just like put Amati to someone else. But you will want to upgrade your defense ideally.
Yeah.
You want to get a good fourth defender. So you can put maybe we'll put a cheap midfielder here in Fabian Delph maybe. And then we don't have too much to upgrade a defender.
3-4. So you're moving to a 4-4-2 then, eh?
Yeah, no, we don't have the funds to do a 4-4-2. Even though we could do Ronaldo and Kane up front. He's also pretty spicy forward line.
Delph doesn't play. I mean,
yeah, if we could have got Dewsbury Hall, it would have been. We can get Dewsbury Hall if we wanted to, and still play a 3-5-2. But I feel like a defender would be a good option. Could have afforded someone, unless you want to play Amati.
Not much to say of Leicester's defense.
The other thing we could do is we could downgrade Laporte we could downgrade Cancelo to Laporte.
Yeah.
That'll give us enough funds to get either 5.5 midfielder or we can get a defender. We can improve a defensive player.
With options at 5.5, I see.
Martin Odegaard maybe, Martinelli.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bruno Jimenez. Langa, if anyone wanted to go there. Fred.
No.
Yeah, that's your options. Impremo.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if Norwich surprises United. Yeah, Sam, I also wouldn't be surprised. Welcome to everyone in the chat as well. We're just picking one more player for midfield or defense maybe. Who would anyone in the chat put in here? 5.5 left. We could either upgrade Amati to someone and get a cheap midfielder, or we could get a 5.5 midfielder like a Martinelli, maybe. Martinelli kind of playing at the moment, or maybe not really confirmed. Odegaard, maybe we could try and play. Plays a lot of minutes on set pieces. Abin not confirmed. Oh, we could do something like this actually. Where is that? We could go Matip if you wanted to against United, but I probably wouldn't.
No. Who's oh no, never mind. We've already got
Reguilon,
Spurs.
maybe. Gabriel, we can go double Arsenal defense.
I don't think we can afford that.
We can. Oh no, we can't. Not Gabriel.
Yeah.
Sorry. We could go double Newcastle or we've already had double Newcastle.
Who would you put as? Would you put? Okay, we got 3 United, 3 Spurs. I mean,
we could go Teles. Wanted to.
Oh yeah, I mean he was a shot that I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think he's a bit of a differential.
Yeah, we could go Teles. You have something like this?
Yeah.
So play the free hit. Transfer. The team would look like. Something like this. Oh, make captain. You'll have Drewsbury Hall on the bench. Dubravka will start. Not too bad, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good team. I like it.
We have 3 single game weekers, 1 City defender. We have managed to get Son and Kane and hold on to Ronaldo as well and Fernandes, so it's a pretty decent team.
It's a bit of value in there. It's like 4 premium players there: Kane, Fernandes, Son, and Ronaldo.
Yeah, it's not bad, I guess.
Yeah, good. It's a good one.
United defense other than De Gea and Varane. Yeah, I guess Teles is a good, decent option. Sam has mentioned Odegaard as well. Could have been a good option as well. We'll see we'll check with the rest of the podcast members as well and see what they think about it.
You don't you don't want you don't need Maguire, do you?
No. Let's not go Maguire, please. Let's just go with the guy on the set pieces. But yeah, I think Kane and Ronaldo is the front two. Laporte is here. We've got Laporte as well. We've added Laporte because of the fact that we can't afford anyone else.
Yeah.
Or we can't afford Cancelo. It makes it much more harder. So Laporte kind of gives that City cover.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's basically it, everyone. Thank you all for watching. This is the panel team. This is the free hit we're going with the funds we had. Fernandes, best captaincy option, I think so. Another thing I want to note is I am thinking of doing a new series where we do like top 5 expected points for each position for the upcoming game week. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments as well. I'll probably do that and record it tomorrow and upload it maybe tomorrow. Like I'm trying to do 5 minutes under, sorry, top 5 expected points for each position under 5 minutes in 5 minutes. So we'll see if we can do something like that. It's a tiny series I'm thinking to try and see, so that maybe next season when it starts I can kind of know whether this actually is something people want to watch or not. So you kind of know who to target for the upcoming game week just based on expected points. And yeah, that's basically it. Sam says Captain Maguire. We are not captaining Maguire, or we're not bringing Maguire in this team. I said that. Abin, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good game week. Hopefully we'll see what moves you make.
Yeah.
And
I
hopefully
need to compensate for all the free hitters. Got 2 free hits to do, maybe even a -4. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully everyone gets green arrows. Thank you all for everyone who has been in the chat as well. Rohit, Sam, Super Kiko, K7 and Mogbat. So thank you all, and I'll see you guys for the deadline day stream on Saturday. Until then, peace out everyone.
See ya.